Jesus uses different styles in talking, just as we do. And we all know that the way you talk, the tone, the words you choose, what your body language is, affects the impact you have on whomever you're talking to. So Jesus today wants us, as he did the apostles, to consider what it means to have faith. Well, how has he gone about presenting that? Well, he's done it by startling them, by taking them by surprise, which is meant to prepare their minds for what they are to think about. Because different states of mind are needed to think about different things. You can't approach the same subjects in the same frame of mind. So Jesus needs to startle them, to make them marvel, to make them wonder. How does he do that? Well, he does it twice, to make two related points, as he does to us this morning. One is the marvel of having faith at all. He says even a tiny fraction of faith, rather like a little seed, is enough to move a tree, a big tree. Now, it's unlikely we heard that and it just went past us. I mean, do we really think we're involved in that kind of faith? So they're startled to seeing the greatness, the power of faith, as we should be. So consider a little, now in the right frame of mind, what Jesus is saying about faith, our faith this morning. No one can give anyone else faith. No one. You cannot give faith to anyone. Only God can. That probably already starts to surprise us from different directions. Well, what can we do about one of our relatives, one of our friends who doesn't have faith? What can we do, given we cannot give faith to anyone? Well, we can pray to God that he, the only one who can give faith, will give our friend, our relative, faith. We can pray for that. We can remove obstacles, intellectual obstacles, problems about how can you believe this and that in a scientific world and so on. And we can remove moral obstacles. To live like that is to distance yourself from God, we might say gently and tactfully. So we can remove obstacles for someone to receive faith if God wants to give it. Or we can explain to someone what their life will be like once they have faith, what will be compatible with being a Christian. All that we can do, but not give faith. You cannot be born a Christian. You can only be baptized to become a Christian. No one is born a Christian because it's not a biological fact. It's not a stage in evolution of a human species. It's a jump, an intervention by God. You see why we need a certain kind of frame of mind to reflect on certain things, which is why Jesus had to startle them. But the other side of that is, well, isn't it arrogant? Isn't it arrogant of a Christian to say, God has given me individually faith? Why aren't most people in the world this morning not Christians? We haven't the faintest idea, because we can't give faith to anyone. Most of what God does escapes our knowledge. We can't possibly know why each of us here this morning, baptized, have been given faith, and not millions of others. We haven't the faintest idea. You begin to see how unless you come with a certain frame of mind, we can't reflect on what we are, Christians. So the greatness of God is the first thing that Jesus wants to startle us into believing. The second is, and this is to meet, well, isn't it arrogant, is our littleness. The second part of today's gospel was about the servants who did their duty were worthless, were unworthy servants, because, of course, they don't decide what's to be done. They don't own what they look after. They do it for someone else. In our case, we don't own our faith. It's given as a gift. We speak about the gift of faith. Well, it's literally true. We can't work ourselves up to it. It's a choice of God, and it's a wonder. But it's not arrogance to say that, unless we think it's an achievement by us, which is where the second part of the gospel comes in. God is great, we are little. St. Paul puts it, I think, today's gospel, in a short saying. We have a treasure in clay vessels. That's exactly right. We have a treasure, faith, our faith, God given to each of us. Not a step in evolution, not a step in group dynamics. It's a gift from God in our life. But we have it in earthen vessels. The treasure is not us. We're not saved from sin and infidelity. We have this treasure which we're to share and witness to in earthen vessels. So we need to keep both truths in mind. Faith is a gift from God, a treasure. Why it's been given to us, we haven't the faintest idea, but it's a joy, it's something to celebrate and share in all humility.